Global warming is one of the greatest environmental threats facing humanity today. Scientists around the world warn that the Earth's temperature is increasing rapidly because of greenhouse gases released by human activities. Factories, vehicles, power plants, and industrial production release large amounts of carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat around the Earth and slowly increase global temperatures. Deforestation makes the crisis even worse because fewer trees remain to absorb harmful carbon dioxide from the air. The effects of global warming are already visible across many countries. Heat waves are becoming more frequent and dangerous every year. Forest fires are destroying huge areas of land in countries such as Australia, Canada, and the United States. Glaciers and polar ice caps are melting rapidly, causing sea levels to rise. Scientists warn that if temperatures continue increasing, many coastal cities and islands may face severe flooding and environmental destruction in the future. Agriculture is also being seriously affected by climate change. Farmers depend on stable weather conditions, but rising temperatures and unpredictable rainfall are damaging crops. Droughts reduce water supplies, while floods destroy farmland and food production systems. Food shortages may become more common if environmental conditions continue to worsen. Poor countries are especially vulnerable because millions of people depend directly on farming for survival and income. Wildlife and ecosystems are also under serious threat. Many animals are losing their natural habitats because forests are disappearing and climate conditions are changing rapidly. Coral reefs are dying because oceans are becoming warmer and more acidic. The loss of biodiversity threatens the balance of nature and creates long-term environmental damage. However, there is still hope. Renewable energy such as solar and wind power can reduce pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Planting trees, protecting forests, and using environmentally friendly technologies can help slow climate change. Governments, industries, and ordinary citizens must work together to protect the planet and ensure a safer future for humanity. Rising sea levels and climate refugees. Rising sea levels are becoming one of the most dangerous consequences of climate change. As global temperatures rise, glaciers and polar ice sheets melt into the oceans. Warmer ocean water also expands, causing sea levels to increase steadily across the world. Scientists believe that millions of people living in coastal regions may lose their homes, farmland, and livelihoods if this trend continues in the future. Countries with low-lying coastal areas are especially vulnerable. Bangladesh is considered one of the countries most threatened by rising sea levels because much of the nation lies close to sea level. Cyclones, floods, river erosion, and salinity intrusion already affect millions of people every year. Salt water damages farmland, destroys crops, and contaminates drinking water supplies, making life extremely difficult for many coastal communities. Climate change is creating a growing number of climate refugees. These are people forced to leave their homes because environmental conditions become unsafe or impossible for survival. In the future, climate migration may become one of the largest humanitarian crises in history. Many displaced families may move towards cities searching for jobs, food, and shelter, creating overcrowding and economic pressure. Rising sea levels also threaten roads, ports, industries, airports, and tourism centers. Fishing communities are suffering because climate change damages marine ecosystems and reduces fish populations. Stronger storms and cyclones caused by warmer oceans are making disasters even more destructive and expensive. Poor communities suffer the most because they often lack proper housing and disaster protection systems. Children, elderly people, and vulnerable families face greater risks during floods and storms. Govt. May struggle to provide healthcare, food, and shelter for displaced populations. However, there are ways to reduce future risks. Strong embankments, improved drainage systems, climate-resilient infrastructure, and mangrove forests can help protect coastal regions. International cooperation is also important because many developing countries need financial and technological support to adapt to climate change. Climate change in the global food crisis. Climate change is creating serious threats to global food security. Agriculture depends heavily on stable weather, healthy soil, and reliable water supplies. However, rising temperatures, droughts, floods, and unpredictable rainfall are making farming increasingly difficult across the world. Scientists warn that if climate change continues, food shortages and hunger may become major global problems in the future. Farmers are already facing severe challenges because of environmental changes. Droughts reduce water availability and destroy crops before harvest. Floods damage farmland, irrigation systems, and food storage facilities. Extreme heat weakens crop growth and reduces agricultural productivity. Important crops such as rice, wheat, corn, and vegetables are becoming increasingly vulnerable to climate-related damage. Livestock farming is also affected by climate change. Animals suffer from heat stress, water shortages, and disease outbreaks. Fishing industries are struggling because rising ocean temperatures and pollution are damaging marine ecosystems and reducing fish populations in many regions. Climate change also increases the spread of insects, pests, and crop diseases. Warmer temperatures allow harmful organisms to survive longer and spread into new areas. Small farmers in developing countries often lack modern technology and financial support to manage these problems effectively. Food shortages can create serious economic and social problems. When food production decreases, prices increase rapidly. Poor families may struggle to afford basic nutrition, leading to hunger and malnutrition. In some regions, food shortages may increase poverty, migration, and social unrest. Competition over food and water resources may also create political instability. Despite these challenges, there are possible solutions. Climate-smart agriculture, efficient irrigation systems, drought-resistant seeds, greenhouse farming, and modern technology can improve food production. Artificial intelligence and weather forecasting systems may help farmers manage resources more effectively and reduce losses. Human health and environmental crisis. Climate change is becoming a major threat to human health around the world. Rising temperatures, polluted air, contaminated water, and increasing natural disasters are affecting millions of people every year. Scientists warn that climate-related diseases and environmental health problems may become even more dangerous in the future if global warming continues. One of the most visible health impacts of climate change is extreme heat. Heat waves are becoming more frequent and severe, especially in crowded urban areas. High temperatures can cause dehydration, heat stroke, breathing difficulties, and heart problems. Elderly people, children, and outdoor workers are especially vulnerable during extreme weather conditions. Air pollution is another serious problem linked to climate change. Factories, vehicles, and fossil fuel burning release harmful gases and particles into the atmosphere. Polluted air contributes to asthma, lung disease, respiratory infections, and other serious illnesses. Millions of deaths every year are connected to poor air quality and environmental pollution. Climate change also affects water safety. Floods and heavy rainfall can contaminate drinking water with bacteria and harmful chemicals. Droughts reduce access to clean water and increase the risk of dehydration and disease. Poor sanitation during disasters often creates outbreaks of illnesses such as cholera and diarrhea. Warmer temperatures also help disease-carrying insects spread into new regions. Mosquitoes carrying diseases such as dengue fever and malaria can survive longer in warmer environments. This increases the risk of disease outbreaks in many countries. Mental health problems linked to climate disasters are also increasing. People who lose homes, farms, or loved ones during floods, storms, and fires often experience trauma, anxiety, and depression. Young people are increasingly worried about environmental destruction and the uncertain future of the planet. Building a sustainable future for humanity. Although climate change presents serious dangers, humanity still has the opportunity to build a sustainable future. Around the world, governments, scientists, businesses, and ordinary citizens are working to reduce pollution and protect natural resources. The future of civilization depends on how quickly humanity adopts environmentally responsible solutions and sustainable lifestyles. Renewable energy is one of the most important tools for reducing climate change. Solar panels, wind turbines, hydropower, and other clean energy technologies can reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Many countries are investing heavily in renewable energy because it produces less pollution and reduces greenhouse gas emissions. Electric vehicles and environmentally friendly transportation systems are also becoming more popular. Protecting forests is another major priority. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and help regulate the Earth's climate. However, millions of trees are destroyed every year because of deforestation and industrial expansion. Planting trees and protecting natural ecosystems are essential for maintaining environmental balance and biodiversity. Technology and innovation can also help solve environmental problems. Artificial intelligence, smart farming systems, energy-efficient buildings, and modern recycling technologies can reduce waste and improve sustainability. Scientists are developing cleaner industrial processes and environmentally friendly products that support economic growth without damaging nature. Education is critical for creating a sustainable future. Young people must learn about climate change, renewable energy, conservation, and responsible living. Schools, universities, and media organizations can spread environmental awareness and encourage positive action. Governments must create strong environmental laws and international agreements to reduce pollution and protect ecosystems. Wealthy countries should support developing nations with climate financing, green technology, and disaster preparedness programs. Since climate change affects the entire world, international cooperation is extremely important.